YouTube sets new labeling guidelines for AI generated content. Now, these are news that have recently hit the streets. I'm excited to talk about this, even though I normally talk about TikTok content on this account. Recently, TikTok released some similar news as well about labeling guidelines for AI generated content on TikTok. In fact, I released a video a few weeks back predicting that a similar thing would be happening to YouTube as well as other platforms out there. The video is on the screen right now and is linked in the description if you want to go and check it out. So what we're going to do, firstly, let's jump into the update to see what the update is and how it could potentially affect you as a content creator. Then we're going to jump into what the positives and negatives could potentially be. Will it be good? Will it be negative? Somewhere in between? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so YouTube sets new labeling guidelines for AI generated content. Thanks to HubSpot for the article. I am going to link it in the description as well, so you can go and check it out for yourself. Starting with the most general rule, all creators will have to flag their own content when uploading to disclose the use of AI generated content, particularly in scenarios where the content appears realistic. YouTube will have an even higher bar when it comes to sensitive and controversial topics like elections, conflicts, and public health crises. In other words, they're trying to stop deep fakes from taking over the platform. That is some serious business right there. And that is some scary business right there as well. Deep fakes are no joke. Although the onus remains on creators to properly disclose, YouTube will have its own verification process to ensure users are following the rules. So not only are they waiting for people to disclose, but they will be checking in the background anyway, whether you disclose or not. We know AI detection tools can be hit or miss. We know that, and it's unclear the process they'll use to verify compliance. But creators who are caught constantly skipping the disclosure step might lose their accounts, get suspended from the YouTube Partner Program, aka lose out on ad revenue, have the videos removed. And that's what's happening on the back end. On the front end, viewers will see a label on the video that says altered or synthetic content. So essentially, you will be asked to disclose if your video is AI generated or not. If you keep skipping this step, so it sounds like they're going to give you a number of attempts to do this, but if you keep skipping it on every video, then you stand a chance of getting suspended from the YPP or having your videos removed altogether. So essentially losing your account, which is absolutely, terrifying to people that take YouTube seriously and create genuine content. So yeah, that is where we currently are. Obviously, you will, once you put the label on, the people that are watching the video will have an idea of whether it's altered or synthetic content. There is an example on the image that you can see there as well, so the viewer will have a choice of watching that video or skipping and going to another video that is not altered or potentially synthetic content, which is going to be interesting. Now, say you go on YouTube one day and see you've been deep faked, meaning someone has created content designed to look and sound like you have some recourse. So if someone deep fakes you, you can submit a complaint and request that the video be removed. But here's the kicker: if the video is satire or parody, or YouTube deems that you're not widely recognizable, they may not take it down. So if the video is like a reaction video or parody or satire or something like that, essentially YouTube could turn around and say, well, you don't have grounds to take it down. Or they could turn around and say, well, you're not that famous, so yeah, we'll keep the video and not take it down, which kind of sucks. So if someone doesn't like you and they deep fake you, create a video of you saying something that you shouldn't be saying, you're just gonna have to hope something that you wouldn't be saying in real life. You're just gonna have to hope that YouTube have the foresight and the insight to listen to you and remove that video. Otherwise, painful times are ahead. And the last part is about YouTube's music partners. Music labels will now be able to request the removal of AI generated music that mimics artists under contract. For example, personally, I've seen quite a few Drake songs being released out there by the use of the AI Drake voice. So going to tools like 11 Labs and generating a voice that sounds like Drake when it's not Drake, and they're actually really, really good, and they're so realistic. You wouldn't know without the person actually disclosing that this is a fake Drake album, or Drake himself coming out and saying these are fake Drake albums. In all honesty, I thought music labels would just sit in the background and take some of the revenue or all of the revenue that comes from these videos, but what do I know? it seems like here they will have the right to request removal of those videos. But again, I think they'll just sit back, and if the video goes viral, they'll just take all the money or sue you to hell and back if you don't pay them what you owe for using their artist. So again, it says on here, this is a win for those in the music industry. Obviously it is, as it prevents folks from making money from their artists. For those of us who've enjoyed listening to AI cover songs, it's fun over. In compliance with the fair use exception under copyright law, YouTube will consider the context of the video before granting the request. Like if the video is a news report, or for example, its usage is allowable under the law. YouTube says it will provide more details on these guidelines over the next few months before it takes effect. In the meantime, we can expect the ball to keep rolling with platforms setting parameters around AI use. So there you have it, folks. Now, hate it or love it, as a content creator, this will impact you one way or the other. So let's talk about the potential positives and the potential negatives when it comes to this. And again, I'd love for you guys to drop a comment and maybe even a like as well if you're feeling generous, but more importantly, a comment to hear what your thoughts are with regards to this change and how you think this will be applied on other platforms as well, Instagram, Facebook, X, and so forth. First positive I see coming out of this is eliminating bad players. So what I mean by that, I've seen quite a few adverts, for example, where Elon Musk is promoting some dodgy financial product. You know it's not Elon Musk. You can see that it's an AI deepfake, but they are that realistic and they are that good that they're making into YouTube ads as well to try and lure people into planting money into stuff that may not be genuine. Or general deepfakes that don't have the right intentions and other similar types of videos. So this is going to be a good way to eliminate that type of content. This is also going to be a good way of segmenting content on YouTube between real and AI content. So this is in a way is going to separate creators that are genuine, that are putting their faces in their videos, from creators that are using AI generated content. Now, not saying this is anything wrong with using AI content, but there is a conversation that is happening out there in terms of, you know, people that are taking time, putting in the effort and being genuine in their videos, being shaded by videos that are AI generated, that are churned out quicker and taking some of those people's viewers away. This potentially could be a good thing, so people will now know what's AI generated and what's authentic real life content from a real person on the other side of the screen, and give the opportunity of the viewers to decide whether they want to watch real or AI generated content. This is also going to be good from a viewer and advertiser perspective. Again, linking to the conversation that I've just had about being able to determine and see straight away if something is AI generated or if something is real. Again, linking back to the whole music conversation, you could hear AI Drake, for example, and think that it's actually the real Drake, but as it turns out, it's not. Imagine if you'd gone in and bought that album only to find out that it didn't come from Drake, it came from someone else. So seeing those labels, you'll be able to know straight away that, okay, this is not real, this is not authentic, this is coming from somewhere else. You might still want to invest in it, you might still want to spend money in it, you might still want to watch the videos. In fact, some people deliberately want to watch AI generated content, but some people may not. From an advertiser perspective as well, do you want to spend your money putting adverts in front of people that are watching AI generated videos, or would you rather invest in videos that are authentic, where you've got a real person on the other side of the video? So it's going to give them an opportunity to decide that and make that decision very easily. Is this now going to put a premium on real content creators with faces that are showing on the other side of the camera, real people? Are they now going to be worth more? Are sponsors now going to pay more for those types of videos when compared to videos that they're not entirely sure if it is a real person or an AI generated voice, etc.? So is that now going to be worth more? Are we going to get paid more in terms of sponsors? That is a possibility. Now, in terms of the negatives, will this potentially hit AI content generators really, really hard? The chances are yes. If you started your whole content strategy and your whole account based on generating content using AI tools only, then this could hit you pretty hard, because you're either going to have to go back and start generating content that is more organic, potentially revisiting your editing, potentially thinking about putting your face on the camera and being seen as genuine. So it might potentially hit those people pretty hard. There is that community that is somewhere in the middle that are potentially using AI content in the video production process, but not for the entire process, but somewhere in between, like maybe in the editing, maybe in the thumbnails, etc. How it's going to hit those people, I'm not entirely sure. But if your whole entire video is based on AI and your voice and everything is based on AI, then you could potentially be hit very hard. Could also be an element of creator segregation out there as well. Naturally, there will be, two sides. There'll be a side of creators that are AI creators. There'll be a side of creators that are quote unquote real creators. That's how I foresee this happening, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Are you going to be seen as someone that's not putting in as much effort as a normal authentic creator when you are using AI labeled content? So that could hit some people very, very hard. Another potential risk here is errors from YouTube. Historically speaking, AI detective tools have been absolutely awful at their job from early on. I'm not sure how this has improved now, but is this now going to cause YouTube to make errors when detecting AI generated content? Because they are going to be running these checks in the background, whether you declare if your content is AI generated or not. We see this on TikTok, for example, where their system will take down a genuine video and you will not even get a chance to properly appeal before that video is completely removed, and that's all automated. There's no person anywhere in that process. You end up losing money. In some cases, you end up losing your account. Is this something that's potentially going to hit YouTube as well? And that is a real possibility. Even if you've got nothing, no trace of AI in your content, is the system going to make mistakes and pick up on some of your videos and end up removing them in error? Thankfully, though, YouTube has a pretty robust appeal system. So you'd like to think that if you are that person that gets picked up wrongly, you will be able to appeal and you'll be able to get your video restored. And also the final negative is the question, to what extent is AI generated content? How are they going to classify AI generated content? Again, I mentioned this earlier in the video. There are creators out there that maybe use 10% AI in their entire video creation process. There are some that maybe use 50% to generate, your script, to edit the video, etc. And there are some that create like 100% AI. Everything is AI generated from the front end to the back end all the way through. And there are, of course, those that do not use AI at all, although I don't foresee that there'll be many nowadays. So there will usually be an element of AI somewhere in the mix because it's easier, right? And it just makes the process a whole lot quicker, and it's less costly than using human labor as well. So to what extent is YouTube going to classify content as AI generated? I think that's going to be an interesting question that's going to come up over and over again in coming months, and it's going to be interesting to see what YouTube comes back with over coming months to let creators know exactly point for point, pound for pound, what is classed as AI and what is not AI. TikTok has already done that. In fact, I've done a video that you're seeing on the screen now where TikTok has come out and announced the same thing. Click the video that is on the screen right now. I'll see you in there.